Hey guys, Sunstreaker Wozza here, and welcome back to another Thursday live stream where, yes, we're going to be talking about all the pressing issues in the game, some subjects I want to talk about that I've been thinking about this week as well. Also, going to be looking at the new combats, Kunai and Bido, going to be looking at that, give you my lowdown on what I think. Going to take a sneak peek as well at Ariel and Scylla. I don't know. So yeah, we're going to be looking at those as well and taking a sneak peek and give you guys a bit of an insight into the ability. And I want to try and get that information a bit out there early so you can make a decision now on whether you want to run for that event or not. I'll be talking a bit about the playtest process behind it and our thoughts and where it was and where it's got to and sort of how playtest is doing and give you an update on everything sort of behind the scenes. So yes, we're going to be looking at the HQ Alliance as well. Alliance HQ, either way. I was looking last week, I'll be honest with you, because there was lots of questions and a lot of things to go through. Then, yeah, I just forgot. I'm not going to lie to you. So we're going to have a look at that today and sort of go through what I think of it, the ideas behind it, and a bit of that as well. And then something a bit sneaky that I think there's been... How do I word this without giving it away? I think there's been a certain group of players keeping something a bit secret that I've just found out today, and I was quite shocked. So, interesting to look at that and see what happens to sort of even things out. So, yeah, a bit of a, bit of secretive info, but yeah, we'll talk about it in the stream, so stay tuned. And don't forget, next week we've got our platinum members giveaway next week. So if you want to be a platinum member and be in with a shout of a $30 gift card, then you've got 1 week left, guys, for a platinum member and be in the draw for a $30 gift card. So yes, don't forget that. And obviously, as always, don't forget to subscribe, guys. Currently on about 5,100 subs, trying to get to at least 6,000 this year, maybe 7,000 to be ideal, and the closer we get at, the better. So share it, go and tell people what we do. There's not many Transformers Earth Wars content creators left now. They're dwindling, not gonna lie. So let's support our current content creators. And, subscribe, guys. Like the videos. Go and check them out and get all the latest info. So, let's see who we've got in the chat. So, we have got Stay Puffed. How's it going, buddy? My fellow side member. We've got Venga Prime. We've got Chris Harmon, Penny Lancaster, Kel Cannon. Obviously, Grind Time. Big shout out to all my members. Big thank you. Being a member... it's not just about, it's about supporting your content creators and sort of helping me do what I do. That is basically it, guys. When you sort of support your content creators, whoever it is, not just this game, but in general, you sort of given a platform to be able to invest in their, their setup and be able to do things for the game and even do giveaways and things like that and sort of, do these things. So, yeah, big thank you to all my members. Thanks. We've got Lord Avix as well. We've got E-Rods, Mercenary Terror, Back for T Eli. I think I got it this time. We've got Matt Paul. How's it going, buddy? Rob Newman, Esclaw Hossy as well. Chris Lewis, welcome back. Heard you just come back to the game recently. Good to see you back. Good friend of mine, Chris. Good to see you back in the game, buddy. We've got Jason Rowley. We've got the Roly Poly Brothers back in the house. We've got Ultibot Phil. We've got, who else? MIA Philly, which of course is mentioned in Punch. And every week I say this, and every week I say, you know what, I'll take a look at Punch this week. And then I totally forget about it. Then I come to my stream. You know what you need to do? You need to message me midweek and go, Wozza, go and check out Punch. And I will then. Honestly, I've got the worst memory ever. Promise you. Vixen, how's it going? Good to see you as well. Carnage MacIte. Good to see you. And Cyber Inferno. Thank you to everyone for joining. So, first off, I just want to show you guys. I've literally had a bit of a play around with my setup. So, everyone watching my channel will know about a month ago, I had a lot of PC problems. And I'm still sort of fine-tuning things and still sort of finding little bugs and think I want to do something a bit different. And that's what happened sort of before the stream. You know, I've been playing around with the sound a bit and now I've got a boom mic. So that's pretty cool. So before that, I obviously had the headset. Then I had the mic on the tabletop and I was like, yeah, I need to free up some space on my desk. You know, it's getting a bit clustered. And so got a boom mic now, so that's pretty cool. So yeah, I hope the sound's all right. I think the levels look all right, but yeah, hope it does. I'm just upgrading bit by bit, and I've had the setup done for the PC for a while now, like a month. But I thought, you know what, I'm gonna bespoke it. I get it, Sunstreaker. I get it all yellow. I got a Sunstreaker in there. And I was like, you know what, I need a change. And I changed it to something else. And I'll show you guys what I changed it to. One sec. So, I've said it before. I'm a bit of a con at heart. I have said that. I know my name's Sunstreaker and people believe that I'm a big Autobots fan. I'm actually not. I'm actually probably a bit more of a Decepticons fan, if I'm honest. But I did become a Decepticon when the game first came out. Realised that you couldn't be Autobots and Decepticons in the same team. All my friends were Autobots, so I became an Autobot. Banished that account, became an Autobot. And chose Sunstreaker because that was a name that I'd previously used, but I did plan on... I was called Wozza when the game first came out for the first week or so. And so, yeah, I thought I'd go back to my roots a bit, and this is my current setup. So, yeah, excuse the camera holder there. But, yeah, I thought I'd go Devastator. You know, one of my favourite cons. And, yeah, I thought I'd go purple and green. So, I think my next step is to get a Devastator figure in there. Because I know I love Sunstreaker and he's got a place for it somewhere. But, yeah, I think I need to go Devastator. I think I need to go all con in there, really. You know, Sunstreaker looks a bit odd in there, but... Let me know what you think. I mean, the lighting, you can't really tell the light. It's actually on like a sort of spin, but you can't see because obviously the video's not picked it up. But yeah, love that sort of Devastator GIF in there. Looks really cool. And yeah, love the colours. I've gone a bit con. So yeah, let me know what you think. So yeah, pretty cool. I think it needs a bit of a tidy inside as well, if I'm perfectly honest. But yeah. Oops, wrong one. So, into the newsletter. So, bye weep, grana, weep, ninny bong. And is the chat alright? I'm not too sure if the chat's got stuck or not. Have a look. Bit weird. Okay, let me know if everything's alright, guys, because yeah, I'm not too sure if the chat has just sort of freezed a bit or not. Because yeah, I can't see anything in the chat. But I still seem to be live. Bit weird. Cool. Let's have a look. Anyway, so bar week, now week ninny bong. We have got the new event this weekend, and the weekend event is for the new combats, Kunai and Bido. So this weekend's event, 150 prestiges, 1.5 million points, 300 revered, whatever. Heroes chips containing obviously the new combat or 5-star combat shards. We've got some building power core chips that drop obviously silver, gold, or G metals. 150 battle tactics chips which drop a MK3 battle booster. 150 prem combat chips, some alloy, some energon, and some combat spark as well. And so, yes, you can see the rewards sort of scattered throughout, and the hero chips contain a 4-3 or 2-star Kunai and Bido or 5-star combat shards. Only 5 per crystal. You do get 300 of them though, so you do get a lot of 5-star shards. Probably end up at about 1,000, I reckon, from the event, so not too bad. Random building G metal cores, so you got a 5% chance So every 20 you get, you should get a G metal, but you're talking G metal building core, so it's a very, very random chance. I'm sure some people get some decent stuff, but the very worst, then it's fusing material. It's the normal battle zones. And then Kunai and Bido. So again, we'll go through these in the test server. Playtester thoughts, you can go and check them out in the newsletter. Thank you for Tex for doing this sort of thing that it does, the overlays with all the stats. It's very good to sort of see the difference between a 2, 3, 4, and 5 star. And then Bashbreaker and Abu have been added to the current 5-star batch. Brawn and Fortel's G1 is available from today. They've been added to the G1 pool, and the G1 core every 8 seconds throws an EMP and increases his damage as well. Not the best G1 core, not the worst, but it's alright. It's alright. Got Community Corner, we've got skids, and a very cool drawing of Swoop. I like that. And the team will be streaming on the 11th of May. So way, 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 way off. So again, if you want to keep up with the latest information, then make sure you're subbed to your content creators. Top tip. Okay, cool. So first off, we're going to have a look at Alliance HQ. So this is sort of what was taken from the stream. So this will be the new section. You can see their headquarters. So there are 4 sections that are still there, but headquarters will become available. This is not even in test yet, but this will be coming up soon. So you can see here that there is quite a few different sort of pads that we can sort of donate to, and they'll all do different things, and we'll go through second sort of what each one does. And the apes have said that they can extend on this as well, so this might even extend further eventually. So the first one is Striker's Outpost. So you can see there, Striker's Outpost allows you to designate a member as Striker. So Strikers receive some buffs during the war, so they receive a health bonus, a damage bonus, and you have 2 Striker rolls. I'm not too sure if this will keep going up. We're not too sure on the maximum levels yet. Again, it's not even in test, so I can't even say. But I think that you will just stick to 2, I believe. But the apes said that that'll be your Pathfinders. And I kind of get that giving your Pathfinders a boost will help them get through the base faster, so they can say, hey, listen, this is there, that is there. So I kind of understand that. But do you do that? Or do you give it to your weaker players? And your weaker players will then be able to get through the base better. But then will that skew the figures for, you know, who's doing well within the alliance? Will it help lower players sort of come up and be able to compete maybe? A lot of ifs and buts on how it's going to be used. And I get that using it for Pathfinders helps quite a bit. But you can see there, it goes up by 5% every level, it looks like. And then the damage bonus will go up the same as well. So let me know, how would you use this? Would you use it as a Pathfinder? Or would you use something different? Let me know. Next we've got mining stations. So the mining station improves the production rate of alloy and energon harvesters. Not very useful, if I'm honest. When this gets into test, I will be saying that, you know, 0.2% extra energon alloy at level 4. I mean, 0.2%. I don't even want to look at what that is, but that's a ridiculous amount. It's not going to make the slightest bit of difference. Not at all. I'd like it to be something totally different. Totally different. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think this will be there. I won't be donating to this. I don't see the point. I think it's a waste. I don't think anyone will really donate to this unless it changes, especially the percentages. But 0.2%, 0.4%, you know, it's not really worthwhile. You know, it needs to be worthwhile donating to get more energy on an alloy. Not to, you're talking like 1,000 energy on 1,000 alloy. You can get a lot more than that in one sort of hit. And this sort of shows you what you can donate and the points you get. So everything you donate into there, you get points back. You see there, loyalty points. So the loyalty points, they don't do anything as such. It just sort of says that, you know, you're a team player, you do donate, and say you change alliances, you take your loyalty points with you. So you can see there, the loyalty points are 3,125. So if you were to leave your alliance, you can say, listen, look at my loyalty points. I'm a team player, I donate. And it's just sort of like, you know, a bit of a kudos to you for, you know, donating to your alliance, basically. Then we've got the intel room. So the intel room increases the ally and energy on raided during PvP battles. So even again, 15-20% is not that much, if I'm honest. So I generally raid in zone 15. And I can get anything between 800k to 2 million usually. Sometimes get 2.5 million, but very rare. But 800k to 2 million, sometimes 1.5. You get the idea. So this for 20%. You're talking anything between an extra 150k to an extra 400k per battle. It's not that much. I'm not going to notice it, if I'm honest. And there's some good things in this Alliance headquarters that I really like. But again, this is not one of them, really. You know, I understand that for lower alliances, this might help a bit. But it needs to be a lot more than that. Not a lot more if it's going to help lower alliances. Yeah, I'm not too sure on what figures yet, but it needs to be a lot more. And this is a really good, I do like this one, I'm not going to lie. So, research center. So, decrease the research time in the research lab by a percentage. So, you can see there from level 3 to level 4, it's up by 5%. So, I presume there'll probably be, hopefully, 10 levels. And we have been asking for a long time for extra research slots and extra this and extra that. And this will hopefully lower that a lot. But I still don't think it's the answer. I think it's decent, but I still don't think it's the answer. I still would rather see them remove the research for level 10, level 20, level 30, level 40. Keep the 50 and keep the 60. Now, Yanis did say in stream that he thinks the 50 and 60 are the problem. I don't think it is. Because people will get a bot to 50 and then leave it for a week. And they understand that. And people get it to 60 and they'll skip it. Or leave it for 2 weeks. It's important. But a bot at level 10 is not important, and 20 and 30. And it pretty much takes a whole weekend to sort of get it through that research. I've got a bot recently, which we'll talk about shortly. And again, I just do one battle, research. Wait a bit. One battle, research. Wait a bit. And when you get these new bots, you want to play around with them a bit. You want to get used to them and know how to use them and have a bit of fun with them. You know, you don't want to keep putting them in research for hours and days at a time. So I'm still a fan of getting rid of the 10, 20, 30, 40 research and keeping 50 and 60 rather than just reducing it. But at least it's, you know, something, you know, towards that, something better. I'd take that over nothing, obviously. But would I donate to it? I'm not too sure. Then we've got defensive operations. Defending bases in walls receive some buffs. So from what I could gather from the stream, you'll be able to choose a group of people to be on defense. Now, that doesn't mean that they are all guaranteed, but the computer should choose at least one of them each war. So you'll be able to sort of know one of a few bases that are going to be base 4 in a war. So your commander will always be commander. And then base 4 will generally be whoever you choose. And they will always also get a defender health buff. But you can see their defender's roll goes up with every level and you get a choice of more. It goes up 3% and 5% per level there. Again, this is just it's not even in testing yet, it's pre-tested. But if that's the case, then by level 4, which we've seen in the other ones, it might go to level 4, might go past that yet, I'm not too sure. But it's looking like a 10% health boost and a 10% damage boost, which is quite considerable. Now in Cyber, that's hard enough, but add that onto Primary, which is already 30%, you're talking 40% on base 4. And a few people have said, what's the point in having a commander base if base 4 is the strongest? It kind of makes no sense. Personally, I would rather have the commander as the commander and just have them. I would have them as part of the defense. That's it. You can give them this role, or maybe it's included in this. and have them all as base 5. So your base 5, so a lot of the top alliances rotate their base 5 so people don't get used to it. I personally just put the commander in with this and have the commander and 4 others as base 5. And I'd probably like maybe a lower buff maybe for base 4. Maybe to be able to guarantee get base 4 without the buff, maybe, or something like that. Something like that I would like to have, so you sort of know that there's some good people on base 4 and 5. That's how I'd like to see it anyway. But again, we've got a lot of testing to do, so we'll have to wait and see how it is. And how it scales even. Because there's no point having a debuff in lower levels if they are going to get a raise, and then pretty much it's like fighting in Cyber on base 4. So I think we're going to see a lot of people losing on base 4. And I said in testing when the recent war effects came out, I said people don't mind losing to base 5 commanders, but if you're losing to base 3 in a war, then you're going to be pretty peed off. Then the training center is really good. So this is a good idea for like people that aren't quite there yet, or people that are, you know, you want to be able to participate in events, but they're not quite up to war yet. This is a good idea for people that haven't got Titans at a high level, things like that. Start to take them out of that. But once you charge this, charge the training center for your alliance members to receive bonus experience from. So you get bonus XP basically from dispatch missions, PvP, elimination, and event battles. So, from what I'm understanding is once you donate to this, I think it affects everyone, regardless. So you will get more XP in events, and you'll get more elimination XP, and just XP in everything basically. And I think it goes to every single member. But I do believe back when we did it, you'd be able to sign people to the training center so they won't get picked in war. We'll have to wait and see again how this sort of operates. But I'm all for giving people extra XP. And you can see there, level 3 to 4 goes up from 9 to 12%. That can go up to 15, 18, 21, 24 and keep going up. And there is the training center. So you can see there that you need to be an officer to sort of activate it. So once everyone donates and it gets to the max amount that it needs to be, whatever that is, then the officer will sort of activate that. And I presume you'll get it for maybe 24 or 48 hours. Something like that. Yeah, this is going to be quite hard on weekends for events, because if you fill your storage up on Friday, what you don't want is, so normally when you do that, if you're power leveling and you're spending, you're using that to switch cores out, especially Energon. So the last thing you want to be doing really is putting Energon into this as well, and using your allies to sort of charge your shield gen over the weekend if you're warring in top alliance. So again, you're going to put 4 mil into that, so it can't be too expensive. So it sort of needs balancing to be able to make sure that you can donate to it and you can utilize it, and how long it lasts. Because again, if it's going to be like a few hours, then it's no good, because people are going to be in bed in different time zones. So it needs to be at least 24 hours in my opinion. Ideally maybe 48, something like that. But yeah. You can see there that you can obviously grade it, and then you can obviously charge it. You obviously need to be an officer to charge it. That'll be on them to sort of agree a time on when they're going to charge it, so you know you get an extra XP. So you can see there is the alliance role. So you got commander. So commander's same as it is now. Officers same as it is now. So the defender role, like I said, will get extra HP and DPS on their base. The striker roles have extra bonuses to enemies, and the rookies there are protected from being picked in war. So you can have 3 rookies, 2 strikers, 2 pathfinders. Again, there might be more of these as you level up, but this is generally the number of people you'll have right now. I think it was 2 defenders that we saw earlier, so 2 or 3 of each. So out of all them roles, so what role would you pick for yourself? Let me know. Would you be a rookie, sit out of war so you're not picked and be a bystander? Would you be a striker, a bit of a pathfinder maybe? Would you be a defender? Think your base is good at war? Are you happy just being an officer and just you know, help them out with the alliance? So yeah, let me know. And like I said earlier, they are going to look to extend this. So the Autobot one and the Decepticon one will be coloured differently. They said that they've not coloured the Decepticon one yet, but it will be purple. But the Decepticon one is a bit more gloomy, bit of rain. I like it. I like the Decepticon one. I do. Let's just fast forward a bit. Is that the Decepticon one? What's I say a minute? Oh yes, this just shows the sort of who's donated what at what time. Again, just for sort of bragging rights, really. But no, you're supposed to give a record. It's sort of there, isn't it, really? You obviously get the loyalty points as mentioned earlier. So you can see the Decepticon one. So a bit more gloomy just to compare. There's the Autobot one. Nice and bright, nice and sunny. Decepticon one, nice and gloomy. Like I said, it will be coloured purple. It will be. It's not got round to it yet. Like I said, it's not even in test yet. But what do you think of the Alliance HQ? Is it going to be a good addition to the game? Will it add a new dimension? Or is it just moving the goalposts? Just making the game a bit harder for some, a bit easier for others, and let you sort of decide on that as well. But yeah, let me know in the comments as well what you think. So let's catch up in the chat. So Vinger Prize put, got to break the research bottleneck across the board. Affects newer players as well. More than is realised. I agree with that. 100%. And with bots stopping faster for all, it's even more necessary. 100% behind that. Yeah, Escal Hoss put, I've got such a backlog of bots sitting at 50. Yeah. Penny Lancaster, the great defender, but for going to be impossible. Currently with my Cronus Core and a zone heal, defenses in that close to get 30% heal every 5 seconds, which is tough enough in Prime League now. This, yeah, I'm having a tough time in Prime League at the minute. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I've found a way around it. You know, I've always adapted after a few weeks. You know, but it takes a few weeks of being frustrated to adapt and find it. And I tried a few things, and we'll talk about it shortly on my war team and how it's changed. And yeah, and hopefully you can sort of use that to your advantage as well, and it'll help you. And I'm a bit surprised actually on the bot that shows. I'm a bit surprised, but not as surprised. And I'll talk about why as well. Lancaster's also put they should have introduced the defender buff instead of the defense prime cores. I do like it. I feel like the problem is with that. I like the defense prime cores. I like the fact that defense got harder. I think it was the wrong time to do both at the same time. They should have brought the prime cores out or HU18 out last year. I know these can say they didn't schedule it last year, but last year was very stale. There was no updates to the game really. There's new bots, new combats, new Titans. But Titans have had very low impact on the game. They're a bit of a bystander. The tech tree had no impact, let's be honest. I even said at the time that because it was so rigid, if they would have said, right, here is 70 or 80, 100 points, whatever it is, put that in. Listen, you can put it in, you can take it out, you can put it all in defense if you want, all in attack. That would have been a bit different. You would have been tweaking it and changing things depending on your team. But because everyone's sort of leveled the same and everyone put the same resources in and everyone's maxed out now, it kind of just makes the game a bit more difficult to judge what's happening. Because I have people going, why can my Jetfire take out the shield gen? It shouldn't be able to. I'm like, tech tree is a perk for it. You know, why is this happening? Tech tree. Why is that tech tree? Do you know what I mean? So tech tree has just made it a lot more difficult for people to actually look at why things are happening and, you know, what can take out what bots wise and what can do what. It just made it very awkward. I'm not going to lie. Even for testers, it's even more awkward because I look and go, is that working? But let me look at what Titan things I've got. What cores have I got? What combat have I got? You know, what Titan perks have I got? What anything in the tech tree that's doing that? Why is it healing more than it should? It's just very not confusing as way, but it's confusing when you're trying to work out if a bot is doing as it should. Very hard. So yeah, I just wish I would have split them up. That's all. They need to make it where you can switch out cores without costing energy on our alloy. I think they need to reduce it, not eliminate it. I think the problem is that it's really high. And I think the problem is they don't want people just to change willy-nilly. They don't want people to go all this base and then change your whole combats and whole thing is just your best 8 combats. They want you to pick a combat and sort of stick by it and make a real choice, which I kind of get that as well. I kind of get it. It's more difficult for events. I think you should be able to switch and change them during events, maybe. But hey. Mercer Sarah says he wants to be a striker, so a pathfinder. Nice. Quentine, based off my recent war scores, I need to be a rookie. We've all struggled a bit, I think. We've all struggled. Well, not everyone, but a lot. Matt Paul, it seems counterproductive the Commander doesn't get any of them. Yeah. Makes sense that Commander will get all buffs. Yeah, the Commander should get the buffs as well, I think. Yeah. Escahossa, if only they had a way to allow us to produce more energon. Well, you've got your Helios Harvester, but I ain't even built it yet. Has everyone built the Helios Harvester? Because I ain't. I refuse. Point blank. And it's more like, it's not just that, it was because they did it for like political reasons. I didn't like that. I was like, let's not get into politics in a game. It's no, you know, we have very few rules in our chats, and one of the rules is there's no politics. Let's keep that out the door, guys. We're here to have fun, not to do politics. And when they started talking about, I think it was like climate change, I think that's like, not for me. And again, that's not mean against climate change. Nothing to do with that, no. But my political views are outside the game, and that's where they stay. There's no place for it. Venga Prime, I'm going to end up being a commander, passing com and the second strongest base. Passing commander, second strongest base. Okay. And Cyber Inferno, I'm just happy it works. That's a good point. We're sat here presuming it's going to work, but yeah. Pen Lancaster, I like the idea of the rookie, so don't hurt the alliance by having people who can't compete. Yeah, I like that. Robert C4's asked, if you're an alliance member, you have to choose a role. Am I getting it right? No, you don't have to. Obviously, it'll be about 10 people that can have a role in the alliance. And I presume your commander and officers will just run the alliance. The commander will be your base, but your officers just run the alliance. That's their job, nothing else. Point of contact. And the other ones will have a role. So, but not everyone. You just got to pick. Chris Harmon, hey, Wozza, and I agreed on something. I almost fainted too. Too much base healing. Yeah, again, me and Chris have, had different views in playtest. Not bothered, it's fine. Gets a bit heated in there sometimes. Well, not the way they're doing it right now, but we'll talk about it later on. But yeah, we will agree on something, we'll disagree on other things. That's fine. Robert C4, Tasty Screw is hilarious. Who's Tasty Screw? Never heard of him. Meta Bear, currently waiting for 4-star Ramjet and Trigger to be out for 60 plus. I presume 5 stars. Very good bots. Trigger Happy, aka Six Gun, still on my war team, still even now, and he's staying. So very good, yeah. Penny Lancaster, Chris Harmon, defense just laugh at you now if you don't hit it right. Warpath can't even cut it with buff with Smoker. You have to hit them with Titan. Yeah, but I think he was always gonna suffer a bit Warpath with the amount of healing. That's not his gig, sadly. But I'll go to the game and then we'll talk about something else after that. Let's get the game up if we can. Why is the mouse not working? Oh, there we go. That was weird. Okay, cool. Hey, look at me. Look at me doing dispatch missions. I'll be honest with you, the only reason I am doing dispatch missions is for crates, for boosts. That is it. Because these bots don't need leveling the common ones, not at all. So yeah, I've actually started doing dispatch ones. Who we got in the cooker? So we've got Hound the Cooker for level 61, so he'll be out in 5 days. And the next one in the cooker is Brainstorm. So I went and tried to chase pipes. I thought I'll try and get pipes, and then got Brainstorm. And I thought, yeah, you know what though, Brainstorm's a good bot for getting rid of that cluster. I've seen people use a really good effect. So you know, I'm going to give him a whirl, give him a go, get him leveled, and see what I can do with that MDS cluster. Because that's the bit that's causing me a fuss in a minute. But really sort of struggling in wars, like I said. But I think I might have found a sort of way around it in a way. So I tried something the other day in a war, and I'm still in a fury. So I dropped Smoke Screen, dropped 6 gun, dropped 2 healers, used Smoker's ability. My healer kind of ran off a bit, and then came back. I'm sure we've all seen it in wars where your healer will sort of detach. Someone said, I think that's because you got run gun. I'm not too sure. I don't think so. But yeah, my healer detached anyway. And then all of a sudden, Spider-Man started mounting up because he was at the back of the launch pad. But it was within range, but it's cut off at the launch pad. So if you look here, the Spider-Mines, you can see they're sort of cut off. So it was in this sort of limbo area. And Spider-Mans just started mounting up. Dropped the rest of my team. All the Spider-Mans went forward. All the Spiders went forwards and caused like 4.5k damage to my team. And I'm not saying one bot. I'm talking about my team. It did like an AoE. I said, this can't be right, surely. And then sort of did the maths, and I was like, okay, well, the damage per second is 290. That's not the damage per second. That's what they explode. They do about 290 damage each. Then you times that by 5, and that's 1,500 damage. And then they're doing 30% extra. So that's like 1,800 damage for them 5 spiders. And I was like, and then when you've got 2 Spider-Mans doing that, and you've got 10 spiders coming at you, it's like 3k damage supposed to be, but it's doing like 4.5k. I'm not even sure what's going on. But these Spider-Mans just mounted up. And I was like, that is mental. You know, your healers have not got a chance when you've got something doing 5k damage in an area. You've got these lasers as well. So, fire a beam chain that can hit up to 3 targets. So, if your tank, doesn't matter where it is, if your tank gets in range, it will hit your tank and hit your gunners. Afterwards, doing 840 damage per second and goes through 30% of shield. So even if your bot's got a shield, it'll still go through 30% of that. It'll still do 300, 250 damage to any bot behind it. It'll go through minions. It'll go through Rook's Hollow. So if you put Rook's Hollow or you put a warrior at the MDS with a laser gun, it will hit it and go through it to wherever the nearest thing on the map is. Forget range. Doesn't matter. It'll just go through it. And that's what I found was absolutely killing me. And that's why I've literally got 2 of these. And it's made it real nasty. Real nasty. But we're obviously seeing this cluster here. So you can see there we've got Macronus, we've got like self-repair, we've got Vector. I've put my other defenses, my Megatronus and my Liege, somewhere a bit different. And I see people doing this on the MDS, but I advise people, listen, people are going to take out your MDS regardless. They're going to go for that. They're going to make a beeline for that. Don't make it easy by putting Liege and put Megatronus in with that structure. Put them somewhere else. So that all of a sudden they've got to take out Megatronus. They've got to take Liege out. And they've got to take out that middle structure as well. So there's multiple things they've got to take out. So, yeah, I wouldn't put in that cluster. Micronus, maybe, in that area because you want to heal it. And it's not got the biggest range in the world out of the rest of the cores. But, yeah, just consider spreading your cores out, guys, and not have them in that cluster. But war team-wise, so... Why am I scouting? I got my scouting. It's just habit. Oh, we know that one. We know that. We know that base, don't we? So it's generally the team that I'm using. So I did have Skids in there for quite a while, and I thought Skids was the answer. But I'm actually finding Slingshot better than Skids, and the reason for that is I think there's pros and cons for both. And the reason for that is that I don't really use Rust Dust. And I've kind of dropped B from my team because they were running off. And I need to look if they're going melee again. I'm not too sure, but they just seem to be dying quite a bit. And quite easily. So I need some more HP bots. And I wanted to get Scouts off my team, really. Get rid of Bumblebee. I know I'm shocked myself. I'm getting rid of Bumblebee, if I'm honest. So I don't really want to put Rust Dust in there. But if you're going to use... if you're going to use Skids for damage, then run Rust Dust. Run Rust Dust. For the acid, he hasn't got quite the range that Slingshot has. So with that middle structure, if you're looking to take it out with jets, 6-gun, people with long range, then consider using Slingshot instead. I don't like getting too close to it because sometimes the age will catch you out. So what I tend to do is I'll tend to take out the shield gen with SG Jetfire. Then I will drop Slingshot, and then I will take it out with 6-gun. Now 6-gun normally will destroy one of the MDS and leave a slither of health on one, and normally I've got to use smoke screen to take it out. But by using smoke screen in that area, sorry, not smoke, Slingshot. I keep saying smoke screen. But by using Slingshot, even a 4-star in the area, it makes even 6-gun do 20% extra damage because he is fire. So he will take out that MDS guaranteed. So if you've got a 4-star Slingshot, guys, don't sleep on it. It's actually worth using. Like for all the 5-stars that I have, you know, I've got an array of 5-stars, you can see there, but don't force it. Don't force a 5-star in when you've got a 4-star that can do the job just as well. At the minute, I've got Ironhide, I've got Blur, and I've got Slingshot to get from that batch. And I don't think I'm going to try and get Slingshot. I think I'm going to leave him alone and use the 4-star. Because when you compare to the 5-star, other than the damage, there's not much difference. Maybe ability level will change that. Maybe a G1 will change that. But as it is right now, I'm glad I leveled the 4-star. It saved me a 5-star pull. A bit less DPS, but he has good DPS anyway. So yeah, a very good 4-star, guys. That's probably worth investing in and using in Prime League. And go and give it a try. Let me know how it's worked out for you. Do you prefer skids? Do you prefer Slingshot? Let me know anyway. Personally, through testing, I found Slingshot with his range a lot more useful than actually with skids, who I think is probably one of the best bots in the game. But I actually prefer Slingshot. So yeah, give it a go, guys. Penny Lancaster, I'll trade your brainstorm for my pipes. I definitely would. Cyber Infernos put 6+3 is expensive. Yeah, but the idea is that you only use it once. You literally will use it on the MDS section. You'll destroy one thing, you'll destroy another thing, and it'll take out the whole section. So that is generally the idea. So, Robert C4, I love using an 8-face on my... Oh, broadside. Yeah, very good, yeah. On my 18, the healing is there, and the drones do a lot of damage on HQ16, yeah. My 8-face isn't even max level or max ability. I just find it a bit underwhelming in higher zones. I just don't think it does enough healing. I think the damage is alright, but don't do enough healing, I think. But I would love a 5-star broadside. I think that'll be my next vote, if I'm honest. I'd like to see 5-star broadside. I think we're really, really good. Good healing bot, good attacking bot, and I was tempted to vote for him last time, and I think that'll be my next vote. I'm not gonna lie. Very good. Stay Puff. I prefer Slingshot over Skids as well. Yeah, a bit of a strange one. Brian Pusher said, did he say anything about nominating a Pathfinder being a golden to give it 100% accurate replays? It's a good point though, isn't it? What's the point of having a Pathfinder if it can't even... I suppose it could record it, but I've said this to Dale. I said it's a joke that, you know, these things are still broken in the game, let's be honest. And Grand Transport, I thought Skids was OP though. For damage, yeah. Skids is massively OP as an overall bot. But like Stay Puff just said, but as for the acid, because it lasts 15 seconds, then for purely acid reasons, then Slingshot is king. But for damage, then Skids is. Because Skids will cover it in acid and do damage. It makes it easier to take out, but lacks the range. And I like that though. I like the playoff. So you've got two. You can go, listen, I can either have less range, damage, and acid. I could just have no damage pretty much, let's be honest, with the acid, but long range. I like that. I like choices. I like, you know, playoffs like that, where it's like, there's where these two bots are both very good, but they both got negatives. You know, Slingshot does do a lot of damage, but great range, and vice versa. You get the idea. Anti-Smith's, but I've been moderately using Slingshot as well, and I see what you're talking about. It pairs well with Sitcon. It does. It really does well, but pair well with. Prowl, Skids, and Sling together is even better. But yeah, I'm doing alright in current war. You can have a look at the replay, and you know, before we sort of be accused of, you know, in the past, sort of said like, oh, I can't believe you show my base on a thing, but well, these bases are good. Let's not mince our words. These bases are good. I'm just glad that I found a way around it. So hopefully the replay is accurate. So this is what I generally do. So we'll drop Slingshot at the start. Slingshot. We'll drop Smoke Screen at the start. Get rid of these Spider Mines because they just mount up and kill my team. They'll drop the rest of the bots there. Once we get in range, we need to take this out. This heals like crazy, so we need to take this out pretty quick. So Slingshot, right on the Billbot. Perfect, that Billbot. Thank you very much. Take that healing out. It makes that easier. Take that out with SG Jetfire, makes that easier. So that's a perfect placement for a Billbot for me. Team was taking a bit of a pounding here, so I wanted to take this out. See there, Slingshot does the Slingshot, Sits Gun, Slingshot, getting all the names mixed up. Sits Gun taking that out. Then we drop our Combiner. See there, the acid and the damage for the abilities, taking that out. Then we're taking the Billbots out with our Combiner. Rush him in. Again, get rid of this section. Not because it's doing damage, but we're trying to get rid of it because we want our team to get through it faster. Trying to get through all these walls. There's a bit of chaos. If I'm honest, it didn't quite jump as far. I should have dropped a bit lower. It didn't jump as far as I wanted. I wanted to do that, and then I wanted to jump him into there and get rid of this structure. Actually caused me a problem at my bots separating because I didn't get over there. But it is what it is. I've always said I don't like dropping my bots central, but I need to do it just to be able to take that middle section out and get close to it. But yeah. So yeah, take that out and then shield run because I'm pops that. Leaving 6 gun behind. So I thought it was a bot. I couldn't remember. I thought it was a bot that was, but it was shield run. This is actually a pretty accurate replay. So use Smokey down here to sort of get rid of that. And bots start walking up. A second. There we go. I think the bots took a slightly bit longer than that. Killing that bot. Because these were, when these started walking up, the bots were still down here. So it's obviously a bit out of time. You can see there that, you know, he's just driven right way up there and popped that out there. So I did say in sort of playtest that, you know, that we're finding that he can get through combats, get through minions, get through Rook's Hollow. You know, Quellagon can do that. And someone said, no, honestly, he does. He just smashes through everything, no matter what I throw at him. Yeah. Got a bit of trouble there, taking a lot of damage from these defenses, so did put Rook up there to try and take this section out. Now remember, when Galvatronus dies, you do get invincibility for your defenses for like 10 seconds, but it doesn't include resource building, so took the decision to get rid of the resource building still. I think Sitcon actually walked up this way and Sitcon came up here and sort of helped out. And then towards the end, used Sitcon on the HQ just to help take it out. Does a lot of damage. You see there, look. And they actually won, not defeat. But yeah. But we've seen this design a lot and I'm getting better at it. But obviously, it gets harder and harder sort of as they sort of evolve. But yeah, not a bad attack. Sort of start in the middle and sort of pathing round and clearing the middle section. So yeah, works well. Skids, the staples, just don't put Skids ability lemon. Yeah, I kind of get it. Peter Lancaster, I use Slingshot different than Skids. I use them to negate healing with my Sunstreaker. And Jetfire, while I use Skids with my Rustus for mass areas. Yeah, that's a fair point. Yeah. Simon Ferno, no kidding, you lose 5 seconds, right? 5 seconds or what? What do you mean by 5 seconds? Pathfinder needing help to win the war makes you feel like the game is not balanced. However, I'll be honest with you, a lot of top alliances use Pathfinders. Basically, your top scorers will go first, just to sort of go through the base and go, listen, these are where the mines are, these are the outpost bots, and just sort of give everyone a sort of heads up. So, yeah, and stay plus spot, Sling is a cheap way to take out build bots as well. Yeah, I've been putting Slingshot on build bots that are close to the MDS and using smoke screen to take out other build bots. So what I've worked out is I want to take 3 build bots out with Slingshot. It gets quite expensive. It costs 3, 5, then 7, where it's 6 for smoke screen. So if I'm taking 2 build bots out with Slingshot, 1 with Smoky, then that just saves me a point. So, and then I can use Smoky to get through difficult sections and clear anything off that's not, you know, not quite finished off. So yeah. OS73 has put debating whether to go for Slingshot or Air Raid. Air Raid batch has Hoist as well. Yeah, it's going to be... We've not started testing it yet. So, we'll talk about that shortly. We've not started testing it yet, but we'll talk about that after I've gone through these comments. And Cowards put, because Pathfinders need help, might discourage the rest of the alliance because they don't have the boost. Yeah, it's a good point. It's a fair point. Prowl Blade's amazing against this type of base. Yeah, I'm not. It's just so many things that Blades can't hack the winter, so yeah. Penlenka's put, why are you using Metro to help win? Hey, why not? He's there to win. Does that include build bots to level 3, or do you have to use a VM? Yeah, you have to use a VM on Smoky to take out the new build bots. So yeah, and just for drying time, I'll recharge my shield and stuff. I ain't got, oh my god, I need to do it. So I'll have to go raiding after the stream to do it, but I'll recharge that. But I've got 2 hours left, yeah, for the last battle stuff, yeah. How good is grapple at higher war? The ability to prevent healing against MDS. Yeah, I didn't notice that. I was looking for some bots in. I need to look at the next secret bot. I think I would do a video on grapple, you know. People don't realise that, so it's a bit of a secret. I was going to do this actually. I'm not gonna lie. Looking through the video, and I thought, I bet people have not cottoned on to that actually. So I'm impressed that you have. But looking at grapple, place of mine absorbs 65% of damage received. It attracts nearby defenses and prevents them from healing. After 10 seconds of destroyed, it explodes. So it's only 10 seconds though. But I would love to see a G1 core or ability 11 that extends that to 15 and then see how that goes. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. It negates healing. I don't think anyone realised that because healing wasn't big when this guy came out and everyone just focused on the 65%. So if I had a choice of bots to have a G1 core, grapple will be up there. But more to come. I do want to do a video on this guy. But I need to level him on test server. And yeah, looks good. Looks good. Okay, so I was going to talk about, before we look at the new bots and stuff, I was going to talk about playtest and what's up at the minute. So we obviously had Hyro, we've got Yanis and Fabian. That was the main team behind the game and developing the game. And then for a while, another game of Space Apes, Boom Beat, shut down. And then we got Adam. Now, Adam was one of the game's, you know, concept developers when the game first came out. I think Yanis worked under Adam, basically. Adam left to work on another game which was considered more important, and Yanis took over, and Yanis has run the game since. Adam came back for a while. He's now left Space Ape, I believe. And he has left a bit of a void, if I'm honest. He came in and he just was very vocal, asking our opinions, and we were like, yeah, this and that, and he was doing lots of great stuff, because he's a good developer, Adam. And then he left, sadly. And then we heard that Fabian is either leaving or getting promoted. I thought he was leaving, but someone in the chat today said getting promoted. I'm not too sure. But yes, Fabian is sort of working on another game, I believe. So it's leaving a big gaping hole. Now we have got a new ape working on the new bots. And I don't want to say the name yet, anything like that, but I don't want to give it away. We've got a new ape now working on the bots, and Dale's sort of helping them sort of settle in. So things are a bit slow. So what happened was we were talking about the new 5-star batch, And we're talking about these new combats and bits like that. And we're talking and arguing, and that's what playtest is like. You know, you got to understand that not everyone's going to see your view. So you are going to argue people, and I never take it personally unless you have to get personal. And there's only a few people that are not really fans of in that playtest. And then if you're a playtest, you'll know who they are. But you know, there's a couple of people that you might look and go like, oh, I don't think Wozza likes them as much, but I do. Actually, you know, I talk to them outside of that chat still, because your opinions differ. That's fine, as I've always said. You know, I'm not no problem with that. And we were back and forth for days, and then Dale just come in and was like, "Right, I'm going to create a channel to sort of put your ideas in." We're like, "What? We've been doing that for the last 3 days. Like, why have you not sort of been kept up with the chat?" And I get that a bit short-handed, but it's frustrating when you think you're giving feedback into a chat, and then it's like someone comes along and goes, "Oh, I can't bother reading that. Just sum it up for me." You're like, "What? Just go read it." But I get the short-handed a bit, but it's so infuriating when you've been talking for 3 days solid. And so Dale said, "Listen, we haven't got the time basically to read through these playtest chats. We're so absolutely swamped trying to get the content out that we've got." So they did a survey, and it actually worked. I wasn't a fan of the survey at first because it's more there's no discussion, and sometimes it can get a bit. So you might say, "I think this, I think A," and then someone else might say, "I think C," and you sort of meet in the middle at B. But obviously, if loads of people put C and a few people put A, and sometimes you'll put something and someone will go, "Well, have you thought about this?" And you go, "Oh, actually, no, I didn't think about that. That's a fair point." There's none of that. There's none of that back and forth discussion, and it's good in some sense. And Dale sort of said that, you know, some playtesters feel like they can't speak up. But sadly, you're in a chat where you're there to give opinions, so you need to sort of speak up, really. You know, you shouldn't be, you know, discouraged for doing that. But, you know, you are going to have people that disagree with you. You know, like I said, I've always said that as long as you don't get personal with it, then it should be fine. But, you know, that's what you're there for. So we started doing a little survey anyway. But it did work with the new bots. The new bots have turned around a lot faster than normal. Because normal, we give feedback and it takes like a week. So it has been a lot better. And I'm hoping it'll change for the better long term. We sort of did the survey, but there's still a bit of a discussion in there. Which needed to be had, to be fair, and I can see both sides of it. So I think there's still a place for discussion in playtest, but I think the survey might work. So where we're at is the new combats, which we'll look at shortly. I've been signed off as done. The new bots, we've had two change of iterations in quick succession. The new 5-star batch, we've got them, but that is it. We've given our opinions. And we've asked for those opinions to be sort of consolidated and just give us the results, basically. Because we've all sort of gone in blind. We've all given our opinions. We don't know what each other said. We've got an idea, but we don't know. And I would love to see them results and just see who said what, you know. But they can't even get that together at the minute. So we're sort of stuck behind that. So not even in testing yet, guys, in reality. So we're hoping to get the new batch out before the end of Saga event. Ideally, I would have it 2 weeks beforehand, so that's another 2 weeks to get through it. I think that's been ambitious. And if you would have asked me a year ago if 2 weeks is enough, I'd have said yeah. Now, with the staffing levels they have and being unsure when Fabian is even leaving and how good this new ape is, then I don't know. If I'm honest, I hope it is a couple of weeks. But yeah, playtest is a bit of a barren land at the minute. It's been hard, frustrating, definitely. And maybe on their part as well, because they can't do the things that they want to do because they're a bit short-handed. But we'll have to wait and see. But it should be coming soon, guys. And I know everyone's sort of asking for it and get a bit frustrated at the timing. And I've always said that the schedule is quite poor, but I think in this sense it's less their fault than normal. But I don't know the situation really, but it's still annoying. And again, it's a bit of the boy who cried wolf. When they've been had such bad planning, when they've been fully staffed even. So when they're not fully staffed, you're like, oh, it's down to bad planning again. Which it might not be this time. But, you know, so many times it has been down to their poor planning. You know, they know these combats are coming. They know these bots are coming. They know the progress they've got on. They know all these things. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But coming soon. Oh, and I see Dale's actually in the chat. So yeah. Right. So Fabian's leaving the game. We're not getting promoted. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So dead quick. So I didn't like this guy at first, and I was kind of coming round to it. I didn't like Pipes. I kind of coming around to him as well. And I've got a 5-star pull. Now, normally I would give codes out and things like that, but it is only one bot. It's a guaranteed bot, which might give away a bit, but I am due more codes. And seeing as Dale's in the chat, ask Dale where my codes are. I have to keep asking him. There's a problem with the codes. I'm not sure why. It's a bit weird that we've never had a problem before, but we've had problems all of a sudden. But hey, there's a problem with the codes. Dale's trying to look into it. And when I get the codes, then I can start giving codes out again. I'm hoping we definitely get them for the new 5-star batch. Because as we know, I give quite a few codes away when I do my 5-star pulls. And so I get you guys involved with it. So hopefully that can get sorted. But I thought I would go ahead and pull this guy. Bashbreaker. Now, when this guy came out, I weren't really impressed, but I still stand by my initial thoughts of that the acid is too random, but I'd rather have random acid than no acid. So he's going to be a new addition to my team, and when the new batch comes out, I'm debating chasing Pipes before Skids. Is that weird? Is that strange? I don't know. I really wanted Skids out this batch, but now I've got Slingshot. I feel like I don't need Skids. I don't know. I'm still in two minds. And I was talking to Tex the other day, and I feel like with all this Skids meta, something's going to come round to maybe counter that in some way. Because it's massive at the minute, this meta of acid. And then we can't have healing without any counter. So, will we see something else come into the meta again? Will we see stun come back? Will we see fire make more of an impact? All these sort of things got to go through your head a bit. I don't want to invest massively in acid. Then all of a sudden, something happens and the apes go, right, listen, we'll switch it on its head. There's going to be a counter to acid. This is going to happen. Now you need to chase this. And then we're back to square one again. So I'm trying to keep my options open and not go all in on acid. So yeah, that is the plan basically. But yeah, we'll level brainstorm for now. Wait for the new batch comes out, and then obviously as always we'll probably have my kids pulling the crystals, do some giveaways. So watch out for that. So that'll come soon, and then obviously we'll be doing a gift card giveaway next week. So again, only way to make sure you get in with all this is subscribing and catching all the streams, guys. Don't forget. Cool. Okay, so let's have a look at the new combat. So let's close this down for a minute. Yeah, Steve plus put, nope, I'm lemon pipe this weekend. Rush tank can get you out of trouble in wars. That's what a lot of people are telling me. So, yeah. Let's Paul went through the entire batch to get pipes. Wow. Hey, listen, it's Dale's fault for joining. Okay, cool. So, the new combats. Kunai and Bido. There it is. So, Kunai, increase healing by 15%. Every 10 seconds you throw a Kunai healing nearby allies for 2 times your healing per second. And increasing their damage by 25% for 10 seconds. Allies healed by Wheeljack receive an extra 10% heal. So when we first got this combat, it was only equipable to Wheeljack. And there was a split in playtest on whether it should be just for Wheeljack, and I didn't really like the idea. I said I'd rather be open to more combats than just Wheeljack, because I look at it as that not just me. I've got Wheeljack. I'm not bothered about it really, but I have Wheeljack. But what about whatever player who's just joined the game like this month or two, and is thinking, oh, a new event, a new combat event. Wow, like I've never done this event before. Oh, I've only done a few of these, and I've joined a new alliance, and I wanna get this combat, and maybe get the first one. We know what chance events are like, and this person might be like, I want to get a combat for the first time, and then they go, oh, what's a new combat like? And you go, yeah, this is a new combat. I can only go on Wheeljack. And he's like, hang on a minute, I haven't got Wheeljack. So first I've got to try and get Wheeljack. And now I've got to try and get this guy. And it kind of demoralised you a bit. And there was an idea in the chat about giving all new players Wheeljack. And I thought it was a good idea. I really did think about, giving a 4-star Wheeljack out in the event. But it's a prestige event, so that'd be quite difficult. They could have put some maybe Wheeljack crystals in there or something to, make it better. But for whatever reason, they chose not to. But I kind of get it. They've already given a lot of 5-star shards away in combat. So giving a bot away as well, maybe a bit too much for them. But I don't think it was. I think it'd be a good idea for something like this. But anyway, so they decided to open it up to all the healers, but make it a bit extra special for Wheeljack. And that's the sort of direction we went. So we'll break it down bit by bit. So first of all, increase heal by 15%. So that's good. Nothing wrong with that. That's fine. Then every 10 seconds you throw a kunai healing nearby allies for 2 times your healing per second. So when we're looking at Wheeljack, then you will get about 800 healing bomb from this Wheeljack here at 6311. So you get about 800 healing. And it also increases damage by 25% for 10 seconds. So that's pretty good as well. There's nothing wrong with that. It increases the damage and increases the healing. And allies healed by Wheeljack receive an extra 10%. So when you read that on paper, you're like, that sounds pretty good. And when I first read this, I was like, yeah, it sounds pretty decent. And I'll be honest with you, in playtest, I said, listen, I'm not a fan of having a combat for one bot. So that's my feedback straight away. No matter what you do to this, I'm not a fan of that. So I'm going to sit out a playtest. I'm going to sort of take a back seat a bit. But then they started to make some positive changes. I was like, I do like these changes. They've opened it up to other combats, to other bots. Then they put it back to Wheeljack, and then they put it back to bots again. And I like the fact that they've opened it up personally. But so if we go into battle, and then we'll see sort of how he works. We'll go into a low level base so we'll see how it actually works rather than getting killed in 5 seconds. So who did I have? Is that what we could Dynabot? Yeah, we can. No, I tried to get a bot. Was it Ironhide? Yeah, it was Ironhide. Yeah, it's Ironhide. Let's call the code off him, and then I like this. This saves so much time trying to find bots. Okay, cool. Let's just go into zone 13. Keep it nice and low. So we drop Ironhide, drop Wheeljack, and then. So the difference between obviously Wheeljack without Rung is that you get a continuous beam. So that's a. What the hell is that? I hope Dale's seeing this. What the hell is going on there? The difference is that you see a continuous beam. So if you watch carefully, he's doing the beam. And there's no Kunai there. But yeah, that's a good comparison though. So you can see the constant beam from Wheeljack. And now we'll have a look at it with Kunai. So I've got acid in the chat. Let's add Kunai to there. There we go. There's Kunai. Nice and cool. Yeah, we'll go 13. And now the game's crashed. Great. See? Even a test server breaks sometimes. That's a bear. Just a dagger. Nah. Doesn't matter what it does. Dagger. It could go, you wave your arm and you destroy the HQ in one. What? But it's a dagger? No, I'm not a fan of that. Okay. So now we put Wheeljack down. So you saw the continuous beam last time. So, Wheeljack. First Kunai, heals, then he heals. So he's healing Ironhide. Then he throws a Kunai, then he heals again. So you get the idea of what Kunai does. So again, heals in an area, adds speed, adds extra healing. So you're thinking, yeah, this combat must be amazing. So you got to ask yourself, if you read the newsletter and read the comments, to sum it all up, the playtesters aren't really impressed with it. And the main reason is because this continuous beam, what it does is he breaks it off to throw the kunai. And so because he breaks off, he stops healing. So fundamentally, he heals, he stops healing, throws a healing grenade, then carries on healing. So the time that he detaches and throws a grenade actually pretty much equals out the same. So you're not getting anything extra healing wise from the grenade. You're losing healing and then gaining healing and then just back to normal again. So healing wise, it doesn't do that much extra. The healing grenade part of it is just might as well not be there. They might as well just not written it in. It's just something in the program that didn't need to be there. Basically, it just doesn't work. When you have a healer, you don't want that healer detaching for anything. You don't want it detaching. And I get that if you use ability, then a healer will detach, but you're choosing when to use that. But to have a combat that makes your healer detach, it just makes no sense at all. And very just poorly designed. And we did say this in playtest. That's a bit of an annoying thing. Especially when we say in playtest, listen, this is a bit annoying, doesn't really work. And then it comes to the live server and comes out. And we get very little feedback before that. We go, where are we up to with this? Are we getting some changes? Could we have a conversation between ourselves? Is this changing? Are we going to, hear this, whatever? And they go, no, it's coming out. And we go, oh, right, great, brilliant. And that's when you see the playtesters get a bit frustrated, really. Where we haven't signed it off, but the apes say, yeah, we have signed it off. And we go, well, sadly, you might think you know better, sadly, but you don't. Oh, it's just lack of time. If I'm honest, I think it's just lack of time. And I don't think it's their arrogance of like, oh, we know better. I think it's just that they go, well, listen, we haven't got time to make changes now. We'll have to just push it as it is. And it's sort of, for me, I get they are hard push at the minute, but it's just sort of like accepting mediocrity. And the game could be so much better. And I said this to Tex, that I would love to go into Space Ape and have the tools to be able to say, listen, Wozza, do what you want. Now listen, I wouldn't go in there and break the game. I would be like, right, let's just increase him by 20%. Let's increase his health by 10%. Let's increase his range by 20%. Let's do that. I would love just one day with someone just to go, listen, do all these changes. Just go and do all these. Let's not rewrite the rule book. Let's not change all these abilities. Let's just tweak every single bot a bit. Like I said about, grapple with the 15 seconds maybe. That would make him amazing. That would make him on par with Rook, I think, and would bring him back into the meta maybe. Power glide, doing that just increases damage. Dead simple. Nothing stupid. but increases damage. His range is amazing as it is, you know, and he's cheap enough, but his damage is a bit inconsistent. He's increasing, you know, and we know these bots. We know there's loads of bots out there where we're like, if this bot just did this, you just change it slightly, then it could be amazing. It's just a lot of little tweaks I would love to do, but I'm not a designer. I don't work for SpaceX, so it's what it is. But yeah. Yeah, Stay Put had so much potential. It did. But no, sadly. Tony B put, I think we had this combo before, but the break that the Kunai gives messes with the heal beam. It shouldn't interrupt the heal beam at all. Agreed. The grenade only healed Wheeljack for 4. Yeah, someone mentioned that in playtest as well. Again, I haven't tested it much. I haven't run numbers. I've sort of stayed out of that testing, if I'm honest, for this combat. And even for the new bot as well. I wasn't a fan of the new bot when it first came out, but we'll look at that shortly. So Kunai has some flashy animation that doesn't provide a boost to healing. It does increase speed, supposedly. The tooltip says so, and it does give a boost to healing, but that grenade doesn't do anything, sadly. Sweet nose cone because it destroys one wall. I still stand by that. If you can use nose cones to destroy a wall, you can rush a base quite easily. You know, taking one wall structure out can be massive in a certain base design. Honestly, I still stand by it. Illicit post Kunai still sounds meh. I guess they didn't buff it. It would go my 3-star Wheeljack. That's the thing as well. That the 4-star and 5-star. If you look at Tex's stats, the 4-star and 5-star are very similar, and it's not scaled well. So that's one reason why I pulled Bash Break as well, because like, you know what, I don't really want Kunai, so I might as well pull the bots as they come out and try and get them as they come out, and then just avoid Kunai completely. Because the 4-star, if you get the 4-star this event, I wouldn't bother with trying to chase the 5-star. I would just keep with the 4-star. Shame, really. Okay, so let's have a look at the new bot. Now, I do need to make a massive disclaimer, and and I show these bots quite early as much as I can. I do give them sort of a chance to sort any bugs out, really, any initial things. But it is in playtest. It's not finalized. There's a lot of talk right now about the cost of this bot. There's a lot of talk about the range and whether it is OP. But what you can do is forget how much it does, as in like the amounts, the figures, the costing. Forget that. It will give you an idea on what it just does, and then you can sort of make a judgment from that and say, you know what, yeah, I can see that working in my team, I'm going to go for that, or you know what, that's not for me. So looking at the new bots, have a level the conversion. So we'll look at Scylla. I know she's got Scylla, but I'm going to call her Scylla. That's what it looks like. So there is Scylla. If you've not seen it already, I started doing a few shorts, so you can go and check them out if you want to see them again. But yeah, very weird. That's the word I'm going to use. And then Autobots, we have Ariel there. So if you watch my shorts, you'll notice something, that she's actually a special bot. But now she's actually a warrior. The playtesters sort of decided, well, SpaceX decided, but the warriors but the playtesters put forward that she should be a warrior because her ability sort of put her in harm's way, and she died very quick. So listen, if this is going to be a frontline bot on the front line, she needs health. She needs serious health. And I think being a bike and being, I don't know, being lesser than Ariel 1, Elite 1, Ariel being less than Elite 1, you'd expect it to have less health than Elite 1, really, because Elite 1's a more upgraded version. But again, we don't stick to lore, do we, if we're honest? So we can go outside of that lore. You know, it'd be a bit weird if Orion Pax had more health and damage than Optimus Prime. It would make no sense. But that's kind of what we've done here. But we've not done it with lore in mind. We've done it with just her in mind as a bot. That's it. So This is Ariel as a 5-star. So, mark a building with a beacon. Again, this is only level 9, but mark a building with a beacon. Allies within the beacon's pulse will attack that building for 13 seconds. This does up to about 15 seconds, I believe, but that could change again. It could go down to 10 seconds. If the building is destroyed in that time, allies within the pulse receive a 30% damage increase for 13 seconds. So, we won't show it in game today because we want to make sure that it's working, but it gives you an idea on what it does. So in essence, it's kind of like Optimus Prime in a way that it will focus on a defense in a small area and drag everyone towards that defense. They will focus on it, and then if that building is destroyed, which usually it is, allies within that pulse will receive a 30% damage increase. So there's still some balancing to do. There's a lot of talk again about the 15 seconds, 10 seconds. Is 15 too much? Is 10 enough? Is 6 plus not good? Should it be 4 plus 4, 4 plus 3? So a lot of talk about balancing. But again, you've got an idea at least what it will do. So, will it fit in your team? Health-wise, 47,000 health. And 433 DPS. I think before this she had like 20,000 health and 700 DPS. She was quite good special bot, but she was just dying very quickly when she sort of used her ability. Because you imagine, like sort of Optimus Prime a bit, she was on the front line. And when you sort of compare them stats to Optimus Prime, I don't think I've got the 5-star Optimus Prime on here. No, I've only got the 4-star, which is not even level to it fair, so I can't even compare to 4-star, 5-star Prime, but I've got Megatron leveled? No, one for another day. But compared to Elite 1 even, so Elite 1, you see there, 6411, 32,000 health, so she's got a lot more health than Elite 1 and less DPS, so is that right? I don't know. Again, it's all about lore, isn't it? But, I like that they've made a bit more tanky if she's a frontline bot. So, what do you think? First impressions in the chat. Do you like it? Forget the stats, forget the 13, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, forget that, forget the costing, but do you like the idea of the ability? Can you see a use for it? Is it not one for you? Do you think that Pipes is better in the meta? But yeah, will it help you pathing? Trying to focus on one way. Maybe, but it's not got the range of Prime. Prime sort of does it wherever on the map. She's got a radius, so but it might be a bit more costly than Prime. So all these sort of discussions are being in playtest. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of it. Would it fit in your team? Are you going for the 4-star? Are you going for the 5-star based on these? So let me know. So Chris Harmon's put the ability needs fixing Soundwave History. Yeah, comparable a bit to how Vamp Soundwave Hiss a bit. But yeah, again, it's still in testing. So yeah. The question needs to be asked: are you going to use her on a war team? I wouldn't personally. I like a slow walk. But yeah. Alpha Trion, her plus Rodimus may be cool. Yeah, that'd be a really good combo if it stacks. Again, I'd have to do some testing. I sort of kept out of testing it. I don't really like. I need to test it, so I know what I'm talking about. But I don't really like a warrior bot that just walks like that. I don't like Inferno. We talked about it with Tex. I'm not a big fan of rushing bots in general, but Pipes I get has got a massive shield, so Pipes is a bit of an exception. But Stay Puft. I think a combo with Prime will be good. Another good choice, base dependent. I know, but will it just mean that people can just rush bases a lot easier? Is that a good thing? Is that a bad thing? I don't know. Who knows? Chris Harmon, I have to for 5-star for combine a piece. Oh right, so it's combine a piece for cons, so they're more inclined to go for it. Ah yeah. Prowl, gonna take a little credit for the warrior class change. They need to release test battles early in the week. Well, again, at least you can sort of see this Penny Lancaster. That's the idea, that you can at least see what it does a bit and make a decision. Yeah. Stay puff. Don't sleep on Ironhide. If I'm going for, if I ever go for slingshot, then obviously I've got Ironhide. But it's that it's that stun with all the anti-stun cores. You know, I still don't see, you know, much use in it. To be honest with you, with Ironhide, unless the meta changes to electric, then maybe. Who knows? And then last off, I wanted to show something which may shock a few people. Let's give me a minute just to come back a minute. Let me just change all our accounts completely. Close that now, actually, can't I? So we're going on the contest account. Something a bit different. So, as I spoke earlier, so I've been obviously I've been struggling a bit in wars and in terms of lack of acid. I thought, you know, I need to sort of start looking outside the box a bit. What's all this like? I didn't get this earlier. So I thought I need to start looking outside the box a bit. So, as I said earlier, that's when I started looking into grapple and such bots. Why is this? What is going on? You can see all the things that I've added, but I was on this test account like literally like an hour ago. That's weird. Yeah, it was space as well. That's weird. Okay, very strange. Anyway. So looking for advantages in acid, and I was looking at different bots. So I noticed grapple, you know, as a counter to healing. So I thought, yeah, grapple gives an advantage. It negates healing, and I started looking more in depth. Started looking through my bots. Started looking at things like, yeah, there's nothing really. I know everything already. Obviously, it's pipes, and I know there's, you know, obviously skydive. I know the bots, and you know, I know there's certain things like that. Then I thought, oh, I wonder what combiners bots can use. That I've got acid. Yeah, there's none. You know, none at all. It's all fire. It's all, you know. And I thought, hang on a minute. Isn't there some combiners that have acid? Because obviously Autobots can't have combiners. It's impossible. So I thought, I'm going to have a look into this. And obviously we've got Overlord. Exactly the same. Abominus. So Abominus actually has a acid ball. Now, it does 2,500 acid at level 20 over 8 seconds. Now, when I saw that, I was like, oh, acid, 8 seconds? Nah, 8 seconds is nothing. You know, that's not going to do. That's not going to do anything, is it really? 8 seconds, you know. It's not going to bother me. It's just max. Even Larkars don't do anything. Predaking's all fire. Then you've got Galvatronus, which is protection and everything like this. But then I came to try Predacus. Now, for me, Magnaboss is one of the best combiners in the game right now. Because of his abilities, because of his stomp with the 3-star ability, with the 4-star ability, and even his other 3-star ability is quite good. But cons have got a huge advantage in this. So you surround yourself in acid, not fire, making yourself invulnerable for 5 seconds. So that's the same as Magnaboss, but with acid, where Magnaboss is fire, and causing 322 acid damage per second around you for 20 seconds. Now, with Magnaboss, you will do 322 fire, and the defenses will heal. So it's going to do nothing. Whereas Tripredacus does 322 acid per second for 20 seconds. That's 6k damage. So Tripredacus, if we upgrade, let's have a look at what Tripredacus is at 25. Let's see how much damage goes up to if we max him out. Last one. So maxed out does 477 acid per second for 20. So you're talking 4,708, 9,500 acid damage over 20 seconds. That's a lot. That's almost taking out an MDS. That's almost taking out a shield gen on Prime League hard mode. So Tripredacus has got a huge advantage over Magnaboss. It makes you think that if acid is the meta, is fire going to be the next meta in some way? How will they make fire meta? Because if they make acid a meta like this, they need to even it out really. It's not fair you've got a combiner that does acid for 20 seconds and there's no bot combiner that does it at all. You know, they need to even that out. Tripredacus makes it a lot easier. So the question is, how are they going to even out? Will we see fire come back into the meta? That'd be a big meta. As much as acid. I don't know. Will fire eventually negate healing as well? Who knows? I'd like to think so. That would even it out, having fire negate it. But we'll have to wait and see. But for now, the cons have got a huge advantage with Tripredacus. And if you are a con and you've got Tripredacus, I would definitely advise you using Tripredacus over 5-star Omega or 5-star Overlord in Wars. Because as we see a lot of anti-stun cores. And so when you look at Overlord, this ability does 0 damage pretty much to those build bots. You can't even take them build bots out with this. And does very little damage with it because of the anti-stun cores. And so it's not very effective against most, well not most bases, some bases. Whereas this guy is just effective against all bases. There's no counters for him apart from healing, and Tripredacus even counters that. So don't sleep on this guy. Get him leveled, get him used in wars. It's a massive advantage. All you need is this guy on that cluster. Use a bit of sea spray through the middle, and you'll find wars a lot easier, guys. So give it a try. Calvin, Wozza flexing his cyber coins again. Yeah, it's not mine. It's obviously a test server. Yeah, Vega Prize, but most of the cons that hit my base use Tripredacus. The acid duration is a huge boost with no ability cost versus what we have to spend. Yeah, exactly. If we want acid, we've got to spend points to do it. But this guy does it without. So you can drop this guy on that middle cluster and then do your other abilities and then just use the acid ability right at the end. You've got 20 seconds there at doing damage and negating healing. So you can either do that or you could use it halfway through and get 10 seconds and get 5.5k roughly acid damage, 4.5k. So a lot of ways you can use Tripredacus, but yeah, massively good. So yeah, cool. Well, that is it for today's stream. So huge thank you to everyone for joining the stream. Much obliged. Thank you. And don't forget, the only way to stay up to date with all my videos, all my streams, my shorts, everything that I'm doing is to be subscribed, guys. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button and be a subscriber. Stay tuned, like I said, for more information on the new bot, the new war mechanism that's coming out soon. We'll have the exclusives all on these things, so come and check it out. So hit the subscribe button, guys. Thanks for watching. See you next time, guys, and peace out.